What's going on, everyone? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector, and today I have a bit of a topic for you, especially if you are a jersey collector, because this particular situation I find to be stupid. And I didn't realize it was a thing until I did some homework and some research because I was trying to track down a vintage turtleneck for my New York Yankees jerseys. And for me, I love using turtlenecks with my jerseys. In particular, here I'm wearing the Bayern Munich 2024 Oktoberfest jersey, which was a bit difficult to get my hands on at the time, and I'll get into that in a future video when I do a separate review of this jersey in particular. But I was able to track down a matching turtleneck. It's not quite a color match, but it's close enough. But it looks good because that's how the players typically wear them on the pitch when they go out there with their home, their away, their Champions League jerseys, all that good stuff. I think it looks good. And I don't like the long sleeve jerseys. And the reason why I don't go out of my way for the long sleeve jerseys is over time, unfortunately, these particular jerseys tend to rot, especially the numbers on the back. If you don't take care of these and follow the instructions as to how to care for these to a T, the numbers get pasty and sticky and start wearing off. So I'm very particular these days. I've literally scaled back the type of jerseys that I do buy. It has to be something that really stands out and really catches my attention for me to go out of my way to buy a European jersey, whether it's Germany or Bayern Munich. But I still like wearing the turtlenecks underneath because that's pretty much how the players use their jerseys on the field. You know, you have a handful of players like Leroy Sané for Bayern Munich who uses long sleeve kits. But a majority of the players on Bayern, for example, they all use the short sleeve shirt versions of their jerseys, and then they wear these. And I would have to assume it's for comfort because at least with this, it flexes, it moves. You know, there's movement up and down on the sleeves, so you don't feel like you're strapped into a straitjacket or anything like that. And for me, as a fashion statement, it looks good as a fan, you know, especially if you got a matching ensemble. But the Yankees, for some bizarre reason, were admonished by Nike. I don't know why. I don't know if it has something to do with the licensing agreement that they got with Nike. For some bizarre reason, Nike got pissed that the Yankees were wearing their vintage turtlenecks. I happen to have a vintage Majestic turtleneck. I mean, this thing is old as dirt. I've had this for many years. The jock tag came off a long time ago. There's still remnants of the original tag, as you can see right there, from Majestic. So I have this one, and then I have the Adidas turtleneck right there. And I also want to say, if you're paying $700 from an eBay reseller, you're an idiot. You should not be paying more than $100 for a vintage turtleneck, even though they are hard to come by and they are very rare. In particular, my size, I wear an extra large. eBay sellers, like always, are always looking to make a quick buck off of your backs, you know, and you should care about your money. You shouldn't just, you know, mindlessly throw away your money. Do your homework and do your research. And again, I've had these for years, and they still serve its purpose. And they go really well with Yankees jerseys, especially in the cold months. You know, here's my vintage Don Mattingly Rawlings jersey. I'm still trying to track down a Wilson version of this jersey, but it's nearly impossible to find these in my size as far as Wilson jerseys are concerned. This is one of those jerseys I almost never wear. And you could tell it's not the player version because it's got the Rawlings on the sleeve. And as you know, the Yankees are very particular about having logos on their sleeves. Of course, they broke that mold this past season, or I think it's 2 seasons now they've done it, where obviously I do have the Anthony Volpe jersey on this rack, where, of course, now this is my elite Anthony Volpe jersey, where now they're using advertisement patches on their sleeves. So it breaks the mold. So the whole thing is pointless these days. But here again, here's my elite Anthony Volpe jersey. I paid over $400 and something for this jersey. So if you're paying $700 for a turtleneck that cost more than an elite jersey, you're a damn idiot. Don't do it. But with the turtlenecks for the Yankees jerseys, they look fantastic. Again, that's my Anthony Volpe elite jersey. Everybody had a shit fit over these jerseys. I find these jerseys to be absolutely comfortable, and especially when I wear them in the summer, if I sweat, This thing automatically wicks all the sweat off of you. I really, really enjoy this jersey. I don't know what the problem was. I know the pants were kind of see-through, but you don't see through this jersey. So I don't know what the issue was. Again, another controversy of people that are just overly sensitive when it comes to things like this. I think the Elite jersey was perfect. You know, there you are again with the Don Mattingly vintage Rawlings jersey. This is another authentic. This is an A-Rod jersey that I got years ago that unfortunately I had to have tailored to my size because the thing was so big. And at the time, I really didn't want to get rid of the jersey or anything like that, so I had it professionally taken in. But you see, it's got the World Series patch and the All-Star game on there. I'm sorry, not the World Series patch, the New York Yankees patch, excuse me, for the final year of the stadium. And there's the All-Star patch on the sleeve for A-Rod. But, and then, of course, I have my replica, modern-day replica Don Mattingly jersey, which unfortunately doesn't have the Mickey Mantle number 7 on the sleeve, but it doesn't have any logos on it, so it's a true replica of Mattingly's jersey. And I guess I could let's show off 2 more, why not? That's my Mitchell & Ness Don Mattingly jersey. Now, this is a jersey that can be fairly expensive as well. But it is a Mitchell & Ness, and it closely represents exactly what the players would have worn on the field at that time. And this is a jersey I almost never wear. I try not to wear it. Every time I wear this jersey, I always get sauce on it. You ever have that bad luck if you're a jersey collector? Excuse me. You know how it is where sometimes, you know, you'll be sitting there and doing something innocent, and all of a sudden it gets all stained up and what have you. But so there's a Don Mattingly replica that I found on eBay. So this is a Majestic Cooperston Collection jersey. So, and then of course you guys know what that is. That's the A-Rod away jersey. That's the mid-range jersey. So, but I don't get why this became an issue. There's no reason for this to have been an issue at all. But I guess Nike or Adidas or whoever it is, when they sign these licensing deals to these teams, I guess they get very particular about what it is when you have something like this. To me, as a jersey collector and as a fan, I love having the turtleneck for my Yankees jerseys. And these turtlenecks go really well with vintage jerseys as well. Though, I mean, you know, you want to look at your Babe Ruth jerseys and your Joe DiMaggio jerseys. That's kind of like where the line gets skewed a little bit because we're talking about old school vintage players. So anything from the 80s on, you know, you can have like your Reggie Jackson jerseys or your Willie Randolph jerseys, Derek Jeter, you know, guys like that. You know, and again, you saw my Don Mattingly. These turtlenecks work out really well. There's, again, another Adidas rare turtleneck that probably would be going for like $400 or $500 on eBay. I think that's stupid. Recently, I saw this, and I found it interesting. And this might be something many of you may be interested in. Now, this is from a seller from Mexico. I have my doubts that this thing is authentic because I've never seen in any listing anywhere and through my research on Google that Nike, manufactures their own New York Yankees turtlenecks. I have a feeling that this was made by a third party. I picked up 2 of them on eBay because I rather wear these out than ruin my vintage ones that I got. It does have a jock tag on it, as you can see right there. And there is a tag on the inside that's heat transferred. But here's the problem. There's no care tag on the inside of the 2 of these that I ordered. And I only paid like $35 or $40 for this thing. I guess this is where the jock tag would have gone because there is remnants of a tag left over here, which I didn't rip off. That's how the jerseys came. I don't have just this one. I have 2 of them. So there's the second one I ordered, and it's the exact same thing. There's no care tag on the inside or anything like that. So that leads me to believe that these are probably replicas or some sort of fan-made turtleneck. You know, but for me, it doesn't matter because regardless or despite the fact that whether or not this is an unofficial turtleneck, it still looks good with any Yankees jersey. So I don't understand what the problem is with the Yankees being admonished by Nike for wearing vintage turtlenecks. So for me, I'm going to continue on regardless, and despite that whole controversy. I don't know what's going to happen next season. Allegedly, they're going to be doing away with the Nike logo on the chest. I don't know. There's still a lot of news that's up in the air and rumors and stuff like that at the time I'm making this video. But I think that this issue, when it came up, was a waste of time. It's a controversy. And what are you going to do? Tell fans not to wear the turtlenecks either because now the players don't wear them? That means that the fans shouldn't have them? I think that's stupid. But I'm going to continue to wear mine. I love, especially this one. This one works really well with the modern Elite jersey. So there's the Volpe again. And because the pinstripes are almost black, they're such a dark, dark blue that they almost come off as being black. You may think this is black. It's really not. It's a very deep, rich, almost blue black. And it looks really, really good with the Elite jersey. But like I said, with any of the jerseys, including your vintage ones, any one of these turtlenecks will work out quite well. So again, I don't understand what the big deal was about them wearing, and again, this is the vintage Majestic right here. I don't see the problem. Do you? What's the problem? But again, folks, if you're going to go out there and you want to try to save yourself a few bucks, well, technically you're not trying to save a few dollars. You're trying to spend as little bit of your pocket money as possible to get maximum gain out of your purchase. I mean, if you're able to track down one of these on eBay, go for it, because you're gonna pay maybe $40 for a single one. Now, a lot of people were attacking the seller. I forgot what the name of the seller is, but they come out of Mexico. It did take 6 weeks to arrive, so I got this well after the World Series ended. But it did arrive. Here it is, And I find no issue with this thing. Whether or not it's an officially licensed item, again, I have to raise that question because there was a care tag on the inside. I didn't rip that off. The other one was like that. It was ripped off from there too. So I don't know if this was something that they did themselves. I don't know. I can't tell you that. I can't verify that this is authentic. I'm going to put my money on the fact that it's just probably a fan-made shirt that some guy probably got so pissed off at the whole thing, he decided to go for the gusto. And for all I know, I'm sure Major League Baseball or the Yankees, if they found this seller, which I'm not going to mention his name because they'll probably come after the guy or girl or whoever it is that's manufacturing these and probably go after them for copyright infringement. Who knows? These days, you never know. Some companies get really touchy with a thing like that. So, but I bought 2 of them just to have. So, but when it comes to this, if you're paying $700 for this, it's not worth it. That's twice as much as an Elite jersey. eBay sellers, again, and I've said this before, even as an eBay seller myself, I try to be realistic with my baseball card prices or anything that I sell on eBay. I try to be humane and reasonable, and I try to be a good businessman when it comes to my sales. But to try to get over on a unsuspecting public, to try to sell off a vintage turtleneck for almost $1,000 when the Elite jerseys don't even cost that much. I don't understand these people. But don't get yourself ripped off. You work hard. I'm sure, like even with myself, my money is finite. And I'm very careful with what I do these days. But you don't have to be ripped off by these people. That's why I can't stand certain resellers out there. You guys saw what I went through. If you're viewers of the channel, I actually have the empty box right here. Oh, I got some empty boxes right here. Look what I went through just to get these at cost. Mega boxes of Topps Chrome Baseball. And then, of course, I was able to get a jumbo box of Topps Chrome, even though I paid $80 more than what I should have. At least I wasn't paying $700, $800, $900, $1,000 I've been seeing these guys go for. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. You really got to watch out for things like this, ladies and gentlemen. That's why, again, I don't like to encourage people to buy bootleg stuff or third-party stuff because, there are legalities involved, but technically it's counterfeiting. But there are some cases, for example, like, here, you're looking at Topps Chrome, for example. Look at how much those things cost. And then look what I paid for all these hanger boxes of Topps Update. What do you think people are going to do? They're going to find their niche. because no one is going to pay the insane prices of Topps Chrome. Same thing with this box I just opened recently on the channel. You know, people are going to find their lane. They're going to find their niche. And if they feel like they're being ripped off, they'll get their fix from somewhere else, which is exactly why I bought 2 of these turtlenecks. Whether or not they're authentic, that debate is up in the air at this point. After this video, you guys can debate about it in the comments section. But I would absolutely refuse, if you ever see one of these, a Majestic, even though, again, it should have the jock tag. I lost the jock tag a long time ago, and you could see how deteriorated the inside care tag is. I mean, this thing is on its last leg. So that's actually a Majestic tag right there. If you're paying $700 for a thing like this, you're an idiot. You really are. I have to be straightforward. Watch out for things like this, especially when it comes to sporting goods. There's so many counterfeit jerseys out there. I mean, look at Eli Manning's jersey. It's probably one of the most counterfeited jerseys out there because, well, it's New York, and New York is a giant scam in and of itself. I mean, everywhere you go, somebody's trying to hustle you for $1. That's just how it is. If there's anything that could have money be made off of it, even driving now with the stupid congestion pricing up there, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to suck your wallet dry. So now you have to be aggressive in trying to spend as little of that money as possible. And this is a perfect example of that. You don't need to just arbitrarily take out your wallet and hand it to somebody. That's not how life works. And that's what the system doesn't want. They don't want you to maintain money in your pocket and in your bank account. Be careful with things like this. You see my shoe rack. Every single one of these Jordans up here is authentic except for one pair. And I talked about this a long time on the channel. These are my authentic Travis Scotts that I've wore maybe once, if not twice. But they're so fragile and so prone to scuffing and everything else, I'm afraid to wear these outside, which is why I bought replicas. And that's why sneaker culture died. Again, eBay resellers with any of these shoes that I got up here, in particular, the OG colorways. Here's the Nike Air 4s. I got my second pair. And they're supposed to be dropping a reissue in a couple months, as a matter of fact, of this guy, which I can't wait for. And what do you think people are going to do? They're going to buy them up, and then they're going to try to flip them so that a guy like me and men and women like you who want to get the shoe can't get them because they're trying to make a fast buck off of us. I think it's stupid. That's why people buy replicas. And this is yet another example of buying a replica, because I refuse. Again, I'm fortunate to have 2 of these vintage turtlenecks, but there's no reason to be paying $700 for one of them. I'm telling you right now, as a longtime jersey collector, I've collected jerseys for probably well over 20 years. I bought many, I've sold many, I've given a lot away, and I've unfortunately had to throw out a lot of jerseys. So I kind of know a thing or two about things like this. Be very careful with what it is that you're buying. All right? Even though that this technically, to me, is most likely a fan-made kit by somebody that was pissed off at the whole situation and they decided to make their own shirt, I'd still rather pay $40 for this than $700 for that. And that is not even worth it, because not even the elite jerseys are worth that much. Unless the jersey was signed by like Steiner Sports, for example, is one of the more notable sporting outlets when it comes to autos and player jerseys and stuff like that. Unless, like even my Piazza auto jersey from 9/11 with the 9/11 patch on the sleeve and the American flag on the back. All right, I paid $500, but it came with a certificate of authenticity, and that came right from Fanatics. In that case, it's worth the price because at least you know where it's coming from. You know it's an authentic item, and Fanatics guarantees their products. But something like this, if you want something like this, you end up getting something like this. I'm not encouraging anyone to go out and buy bootlegs and counterfeit items because, well, technically that could be illegal. But there are times where it's like, you don't have to put up with this. You don't have to put up with paying $700, especially if you're a jersey collector like me. I'm wearing the Oktoberfest Harry Kane jersey that I converted into a Champions League European style with the sporting ID patches on the sleeve. That's not how they wore them on the field. I don't know why Bayern did this. I'll have a whole video about that down the road sometime, even though it's a little past Oktoberfest at this point. But you don't have to put up with it, folks. This channel has really dedicated itself to discussing the frauds that are out there that want nothing more than to suck your wallet dry. And you don't have to put up with it. That's why I try to make my sports cards on my eBay stores page as cheap as I can, based on what I see. You don't have to be ripped off. You should be able to enjoy these things without having somebody trying to suck your wallet dry. You know, I talked about this stupid thing. I forgot to put it away last night. It's been sitting there on my bedroom sock drawer. One of these. This is yet another consumerism farce. Why would you pay an eBay reseller $200 to get your hands on one of these? Where it took me all of 4 days of doing research and homework, and all of a sudden I had a whole bunch of these. It's a goddamn cup. You don't have to put up with this crap. But I will wear this thing. It looks really good with my Yankees jerseys. And Nike can stick it up their rear end because I'm a buyer. I'm a consumer. I'm a customer. It's my money that they're looking for. All of this, everything you see behind me costs money in some form or another. Therefore, I believe I have certain rights when it comes to how my money is being used and what I'm going to spend it on and making better choices. Everything you see is authentic. Every single one of these hats, except for maybe one or two fan-made, like the baseball bunch hat that I got back there, and some of the very specific 9/11 hats. All of these hats I got from Fanatics, every single one of them. Or Lids, or Bayern Munich, or Germany, or Adidas, or Nike, wherever it comes from. Every one of them is authentic. It's about making better choices, folks. But the companies really need to listen to the fans. You hear that, Tops and Fanatics? $900 for a box of cards, right? Thank God I didn't pay that. Listen to the consumers. Make more of these to take away the power from eBay sellers or resellers. There's no reason to take a $49.99 box of Mega and then all of a sudden flip it for $120. I find that to be absolutely disgusting and insulting. That's why I'm very persistent these days. And don't forget, I've had an early retirement for many years, so I got all the time in the world to sit there on the internet to track down stuff like this, so that my money goes on things that I want and not break the bank and not put the money that I worked for and fought hard for in the court system and everything else and stick it into some fat fuck's pocket who doesn't work, whose entire goal in life is to scam people. And for me, I'm actually proud to have this. Yeah, it might be a knockoff. It may be a fan-made replica, but at least Nike's not getting my money. And I'll tell you why. They should be releasing these to the public, and they should make sure that the Yankees put these on their backs in the cold months. I find the whole thing to be stupid. And you don't have to put up with it. You are the consumer. You have power over them. Because at the end of the day, and I can say this as an eBay seller, of course, I love money. I have money in my pocket. Well, I actually have to hit the bank now that I'm looking at it. But, I mean, I'm a consumer, man. I want my money to go as far as it can. I don't have to pay $3 and something cents for a gallon of gas when I could sign up for an annual premium Sam's Club membership and get gas at $1 less, which is what I do, by the way. It's ridiculous, folks. But this controversy, to me, I just find to be ridiculous and absurd. What are you going to do? Tell fans don't wear these? That's not happening. Was Bayern Munich going to tell me, oh, you can't wear that underneath the jersey? I will, because your players do on the field. So as a fan who spent over $100 and something on this jersey, and to have it custom made, which, by the way, it's so bizarre the way they did this jersey, coming directly from their German fan shop, and they seem to be the only ones that did this to this jersey, because that's not what it looked like when they used it on the field. It had the Bayern München marquee on the back in a straight line with that particular number, with the Bundesliga patch on the sleeve. So they released it in the European style, which I just don't get. And I had to track down these patches myself. Make better choices, folks. You don't have to put up with this crap. I want cool stuff too, but I shouldn't have to break the bank for it, and neither should you. because for the Yankees to, be tongue lashed like they were by Nike because of vintage turtlenecks, and of course, jackasses out there, they see that, they start computing in their brains, all right, how much can I rip people off? You end up with a $700 turtleneck. I'd rather spend $40 on a knockoff at that point. Again, I'm not encouraging buying counterfeit items or anything like that. What I'm saying is that it forces a consumer like me who wants cool stuff to find other ways of getting a hold of stuff that I want for my pleasure and for my enjoyment. So to Nike, take care, folks. God bless. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon.